Well, it's technically a drink. I was maliciously complied with by a friend this week. In the UK we have a condiment called Marmite, and it's foul. The friend in question knows this and agrees with me. It is possible to make a drink by dissolving a teaspoon of this spawn of Beelzebub in boiling water. I was at this friend's house, and he offered me a drink. It was evening, so I asked for a surprise non-caffeinated drink. This is my normal drink order, and usually gets me a Lucky Dip herbal tea. This week, it got me a hot Marmite. Yes, it's non-caffeinated, and yes, it's a drink.
Sigh.
I use Marmite as the basis for soup and gravy stock. Once it's dissolved in water, it doesn't really taste like Marmite at all. It just tastes like super strong stock. Spawn of Beelzebub in boiling water. That is funny AF. Irish person here. That's so old school Marmite drinks. My mum was into Bovril. I'm in Canada and I love Marmite. I wouldn't mix a drink out of it, but it's great on toast. Many years ago I existed, in a boarding house. The landlord was the usual tight-ass bastard. The meals were passable usually. He always had the usual condiments on the table. Salt, pepper, tomato sauce, and being Australia, Vegemite. The same little bowls of Vegemite had been on the tables for ages and were beginning to look crusty and not at all appetizing, so one day he collected them all, scraped them into a saucepan and made Vegemite soup. He tried bringing it out every day for a week with absolutely no takers. It was just hot black water. Another strange thing he did was the breakfasts for the early starters. The people that needed a hearty breakfast at 4 or 5 a.m. He would cook the bacon, sausages, whatever was on the go that day, and fat with a couple of eggs the night before. Then when they had cooled down and the grease had congealed, he would hang the fry pans, one for each person, on hooks in the kitchen. The early starters were allowed in the kitchen, so all they had to do was grab their pan and turn the gas on and they had a hot cooked breakfast. This was of course before microwave cookers. I stopped reading when you called Marmite foul. Heathen. No Marmite for me, Vegemite is where it's at. In the UK we have a condiment called Marmite, and it's foul. Just gonna grab my popcorn and sort by controversial. Wait till you try Marmite crisps, Marmite butter and Marmite crisps. Nice smile. Marmite is fucking delicious. If you don't like it, you're spreading it wrong. I learned about Vegemite in Australia and we can only get Marmite here in the grocery store I go to. Butter. Thin coating of Marmite. Cheddar cheese and an over-easy egg chief's kiss. I did something like this to my boss once. He asked me for a variety of beverage that I can drink and is not poisonous. So I put a little bit of all of our soft drinks in a glass. He was more specific next time. I prefer Vitaveta Vegemin. Isn't that just broth? My understanding is that Marmite and Vegemite are just like miso paste. Marmite is great. It just has to be applied correctly. In hot water is definitely not correctly. Marmite and butter on toast is absolutely amazing. Buying bread from a man in Brussels. He was 6'4" and full of muscle. I said, "Do you speak my language?" He just smiled and gave me a Marmite sandwich and he said, "Toast Marmite cheese, good real cheese." As a thrifty coward, I dare not buy Marmite or similar, but I've heard that if you don't like it, you've used too much. In before, any more than none is too much. Or homeopathic amounts only. Please. For what it's worth, I bought some dairy-free chocolate spread a while back as a treat, figuring that I could probably cope with that. It looks a bit like a cross between Marmite and road tar. And worse. Smells like a dangerous chemical spill, both in the jar as well as when spread too thick. Small amounts mixed in with a bit of margarine though. It's not too bad actually. Downvote for calling Marmite foul. In NZ, a jar of NZ Marmite sold for as much as $60 during Marmageddon, a nationwide Marmite shortage in 2012. I can't imagine why anyone would want to drink the stuff though. Came to Australia from England 30 plus years ago. I've been a fan of Vegemite ever since and can't fathom how I used to eat Marmite on toast and even enjoyed the odd hot drink of it too.
If you enjoyed this video, please check out our playlists full of similar content. Epic Aircast is like doom scrolling for your ears. Please like, share, and subscribe.